very rough. But one of the things that really got me through that was really the martial arts. Being in the hospital room, my mom was the only person that really like came all the time, and I was single at the time, which made it even worse. Because at that time, you want someone to be comforting to you that isn't your mom. You know,
Right.
my mom was there for me with everything. Every chemo appointment, every doctor's appointment was my mom. But it's like, damn, I'm gonna die alone. Like that's what came to my head, you know, because I would do the treatments and they would tell me that like the treatment isn't working. So it didn't start kicking into like the last 2-3 weeks. They're like, oh shit, your tumor markers are finally going down. Before that, the treatment wasn't working. So in my head, I'm dead, right? So I remember I would do lives on Facebook where I'm doing kata. I would do Tensho and Sanchin. Because Tensho and the Sanchin are the two katas where you don't really move much. They're the two cornerstone katas, the Goju-ryu. It's the first two katas you learn. So I did those things religiously every day. And then a friend of mine brought me resistance bands. So I would try to do little workouts. And the nurse is like, yo, I should be sitting down. What are you doing? I'm like, I'm going crazy here. I got to move, you know? And, you know, the people that visit me the most in the hospital, and this isn't to knock my family, they're going to hear this, but the people that visit me the most were martial arts friends, students. There were people on Facebook that I never met in person that were other martial artists that had me as friends. And they came like from Long Island, Connecticut, Jersey, Massachusetts. They would drive down just to spend an hour with me in the hospital. And I mean, that sense of community only comes from the martial arts. And it's sad sometimes that you see like martial artists bickering online, crying, fighting, arguing, downing each other. When really it should be about family, it should be about brother, especially, you know, I'm going to say this, and I kind of made a comment earlier to it, and it may sound corny, I'm going to bring this thing, but for people, minorities, right, we have to stick together. This is my belief, right? Our biggest detriment a lot of times is ourselves, especially like our communities are so against uplifting each other, it's ridiculous. You know, there'll be times where I'll get a compliment on Facebook or TikTok, and the first thing I do is go look at the person's last name and see what they look like. Because in my head, I'm like, damn, that's a compliment that came from another Hispanic guy. What a miracle. Because our culture, not me per se, because the way I was raised, but our culture is so full of machismo that it's hard to be like, yo, that man's got hands. That man is good. That man's technique is nice. That technique was good. It's always, that shit don't work on me. You know, it's always trying to show that you're better than the next man. So to have that sense of community, that family during that time meant everything to me. I mean, people, I'm gonna name drop some people if that's okay for you. I'm Fian Abdulaziz. We had Senpai Pedro Rosales, Kyoshi, Bruce Ortiz came to see me, Grandmaster La Freedom. We had all these people that were coming. There's so many names, Sensei Gordon Tolchin, all these good people that just came and they took the time to come and visit me and spend time with me and be there and just, you know, because we don't know that, you know, Master Thunderfist, Miguel Lopez, we didn't know there was going to be a tomorrow, you know? And there were some people that we might not even have the best relationship, and they came anyways. Because like, oh, this dude's sick, you know? There'd be times where I'd be in a room bored, and I'm just there, and I'm thinking about a kata or a technique, and in would walk in somebody, you know? And these are people I mentioned aren't students of mine. These are just fellow martial artists. Sensei Horace Anderson, guys like that, Jorge Abreu. These guys, all in the martial arts that I've known throughout my training, they were there for me, you know? And that's really what got me through it, honestly, was that sense of, you know, my mom was there for everything. I love my mom. It's just not the same. Because, like, you feel like your mom has to love you. Your mom has to be there. That's the way, I was lucky that I was raised very coddled in a sense. My mom, I mean, she, to this day, if I brought her a uniform and say, hey, can you have this gi for me? With arthritis and all, my mom would have my gi. If I'm like, hey, I'm on my way, Ma, she's like, oh, what do you want me to cook? You know, my mom, I'm a big mama's boy in that sense. My mom always catered to me. So it's different when you have people that don't owe you a thing and they're there for you. You know, they're sending you, they have the Rijos family, God rest her soul, Angela Rijos and Angelo Rijos, which is funny. They're husband and wife, Angela and Angelo. They would send me care packages. They would send me T-shirts because they knew I was into like all the graphic tees with Biggie, Tupac, anime and stuff. They send me things. They send me like edible arrangements just to cheer me up, you know. And during that time, that's what I needed because I mean, they gave me like a 30% chance of survival.
Right.
And with something like that, 30% really isn't that much.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Enlightenment Moment Podcast. Head over to iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you normally listen to your podcast to catch the full version of this episode. And while you're here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more videos just like this one. Until next time, stay focused, stay aware, and keep your vibrations high. Thank you.